Good morning from Shingū, Japan. This bus behind me is the longest local bus in Japan. This bus, which makes stops every 1 or 2 minutes, is 7 hours long. Goes from here all the way up to Yamato-Yagi in Nara. It's really meant for local people going short distances. No sane person would ever ride the entire thing. I don't even know why it exists, but I'm going to take the whole thing, 7 hours on this bus today, just to see what it's like. And I'm really basically using it as a sightseeing bus. 7 hours, longest in Japan. Let's go. We started right on time, 7:46 a.m. Normally, anyone going from Shingū to Yamato-Yagi would take a series of trains through Mie Prefecture, which takes about 3.5 hours. This bus takes twice as long and goes each way 2 or 3 times a day. There's an express version called Yamakaze, which skips about 80 stops and saves an hour and a half, but I'm on the full maximum length version. Whereas most local buses have a range of maybe 10 to 15 kilometers, making 20 or 30 stops or so, this bus stretches 170 kilometers. Super travel nerds will be impressed that there are an insane 168 stops along the route. So I have a list of all the stops. I made a list, every stop here. Now, we're not necessarily going to be stopping at all the stops. The bus driver will only stop if somebody presses the button on board or if he sees somebody waiting at the bus stop. So I don't know how many times we'll actually stop. So maybe we can make up this time, because we're already about 4 minutes late, I've noticed. To be fair, this bus is sort of half quasi-marketed as a tourist bus. So they know that people like to do the whole thing. This is a gorgeous area already. It's beautiful mountains and this beautiful river. I think this is the Kumano River. Wow, this is great. Okay, we're still following this river, and there are no stops here actually for a while. This is the longest gap between stops on the whole route, 26 minutes from the last stop to the next one. So while we have this time, I'd like to talk about the seat here and the amenities on this bus. This is not a highway bus. This is not a tourist bus for comfort. This is just something to sit on for a while. The seats are not bad. They're, soft enough. There's a headrest and stuff. 7 hours, I don't know, it's not great. Not great, but it's not bad. There's nowhere for my bag. My backpack is just sitting here in the seat next to me. If somebody comes to sit, if they have to sit beside me, I'm gonna have to put the bag down here, but there's hardly any room for it. There are some nice touches. There's a drink holder, little pocket for your notebook and your list of stops. I got my old iPhone in the window, stuck in the window for B-roll. But that's pretty much it. There's no bathroom. There are three times on this route that we stop for about 10 or 20 minutes each at a bus center, and there will be bathrooms, and I hope food in those. I don't know what I'm doing for lunch. I brought some pretzels and chocolate bars for backup just in case. Lunch may be snack food here on the bus. An electronic sign at the front of the bus tells you how much the fare is at this point based on where you got on. I, of course, got on at stop number 1. I wondered how they would fit 168 stops on this screen. The ride immediately settled into a rhythm. A pre-recorded woman's voice announced each stop, though we rarely did stop because nobody wanted to get on or off. Sometimes we stopped, but still nobody got on. Occasionally, the driver would make announcements about the history or notable events in an area we were passing through, but even if your Japanese were flawless, which mine certainly isn't, it was hard to make out what he was saying over the rattle of the metal and his mumbled delivery. My focus always was on the scenery through the window. Okay, we are now about 8 or 9 minutes behind schedule, and we're back down by the river. The scenery is still gorgeous. I had no idea the scenery was going to be this nice on this thing. The next thing that's going to happen is we're going to cross the border into the next prefecture, from Wakayama into Nara Prefecture. made for buses, nor the construction trucks and stuff that are passing by the other way. It's often a tight squeeze. Somebody has to back up to let the other go. We're only about 3 minutes behind schedule now, so somehow we made up a bunch of minutes. Great job. The driver here is Mr. Sugimoto, and he's a good man.
Please stay until the bus completely stops.
Okay, we're at Totsukawa Onsen. We have a 10-minute break here. Mr. Sugimoto said we can go inside and buy boxed lunches and stuff. I'll probably do that for later. It's only 10 a.m. now. But first I want to go across the road, see this river up close. This is the Totsu River. Look at that color. Kind of pale, milky turquoise. Well, let's go inside and check out the selections. There's no food in here, it's just those drink machines. I don't see any place to buy lunch. We're stopping again in a couple hours, so maybe I'll try there. There are, by the way, right now only 3 passengers on the bus, me and these 2 other guys.
日本語大丈夫ですか？
ちょっと大丈夫。
信号から八木までの、
はい、
パーフェクトライドの。
そうか。はい。ありがとうございます。Mr. Sugimoto just gave me a little special commemorative thingy for riding the entire line. And I was wrong, there are actually 2 other passengers I didn't know about on this bus. Okay, now I have a visual way to show you where we are. We are, if I can, we are here. So we still have all this to go. Another highlight, tunnels, lots and lots of tunnels here. This one is almost 2 kilometers long. It's the longest one that I've seen so far. It might be the longest one on the whole route. You have to admit, there's a certain grandeur to the output of Japan's infamous concrete industry. Turi bashi wa soko.
あっちからあっち150メーター行ったレフトサイド。
はい。時間ある？
多分大丈夫。26分に入れます。
はい。ありがとう。Okay, we are at the second of the 3 long stops, Uenoji, and this is my favorite one because up here is a very, very cool activity that the bus driver said I probably just have time to do if we hurry. It's going to be something kind of freaky. By the way, thank you very much to my patrons on Patreon. If you would like to support independent travel stuff like this, please go to patreon.com/T1DWonder, choose a tier, and support the channel that way. I really appreciate it. And now, on with the story. So all around here in these mountains, there are these big suspension bridges for people. And they get made for different reasons. For example, it's made for local traffic, local people that need to get around. Sometimes they're for industry and like mining and things. Sometimes they're just made just for tourism. This one is the longest one in Japan that was made for local traffic. And here we go. I'm going to cross it. I hope I've got time to get all the way to the other side and back. Whew. This bridge is 297 meters to the end. Ooh, it's swaying. 54 meters above the river here. It was built in the 50s after the old one got washed away. Townspeople contributed money to build this one. during holidays and festivals and stuff, when like a lot of people come here, like vacations and stuff, you can't walk back across. You can walk this way, but to get back you have to take a shuttle bus somewhere. Today it's okay. Today I can just go to the end and then come back. All these little rickety wooden boards, that's all there is to walk on. Traffic jam on the Tanise Bridge. Whoa. Okay, once across. Now I gotta go back. I also have to go to the bathroom, and I'd like to find some lunch. I don't know if that's gonna happen before the bus leaves. Let's go. So when I was researching for this trip on Google Maps, I saw lots and lots of these bridges all around the gorges and the mountains and stuff around here. But this is the only one that you can actually get to from the bus. This is the only thing really you can do on the bus, on this bus ride, with one ticket. Okay, that was cool. That was the highlight of activity. The only one activity on this bus ride. I don't see anywhere open here for lunch, so I guess my lunch is going to be the pretzels and the little chocolate things I brought on board. I will say again, after having been on this bus for a few hours, I really don't understand why this line exists. It's only me and these two other guys. I think they're probably going the whole way. Like, we just went down this side road, this little tiny side road here, just because there's a bus stop there. Nobody was there. Nobody wanted to get off. I imagine there are rarely people there. I mean, 0 per day, maybe 1 or 2 a month, maybe. I'm glad they have the service here, but from the point of view of the bus company, why would you do this? I'm glad they did. I just don't really understand it. I can't explain why this exists. The monitor could fit 30 stops at once, so it cycled through several screens to display all the fares. We're in some especially nice mountains. A lot of like little waterfalls coming down some of the hillsides and kind of small little ravines and gullies and things. Soon we're going to be into a place called Gojo, and Gojo, I believe, is where we exit the mountains. The last hour or something on this trip is going to be a lot of flatlands, the Yamato plain, to the end. For now, though, it's like having a private bus. Just me and the 2 guys and the driver. Okay, we just left Okubo-guchi stop. Nobody was there, we didn't stop. But that was going south to north like I am, stop number 99. The next stop is stop number 100, Ishihara. The road is going down, it's been going down, steadily down out of the mountains for quite a few kilometers now. And down here when we get to Ishihara, I hope somebody gets on the bus, just to mark the occasion that it is number 100. That was it. Nobody got on. Okay, well, that was stop number 100. So only 68 more to go. Okay, this is the Gojo Bus Center. This is the final stop of the 3 stops that we're making. And it's about an hour and a half left. We're down into the flatlands now, so we're back into civilization. It's been a lot of fun so far. This bus center is right next to a large mall called Aeon Mall. So you could theoretically go in during this stop and shop for all kinds of stuff, food and clothes and everything else. Everything you would need. But what more do you need if you have Japan's longest local bus? Who needs anything else? Might as well go ahead and take a look at the bus center while we're here. Not too much to the bus center. A waiting room. Where's the bathroom? Aha. And by the way, if you're curious, the Yamakaze, the express version of this bus, around here is where it would rejoin this route. And by the way, after leaving Gojo Bus Center, we are exactly on time to the minute once again. Okay, 20 more stops to go. The bus is getting livelier, we're stopping more people are getting off and on. We're a little bit behind schedule again, just 2 or 3 or 4 minutes. And now I'm kind of curious because the whole thing is scheduled technically to arrive at the 6 hour and 55 mark. And I'm kind of hoping we're at least 5 minutes late. I want this thing to last over 7 hours. So that's my goal now. Slow up a little bit, make sure we're 5 minutes late. But so far, that seems to be the case where it's going to be right on the border. We just arrived 7 hours and 6 minutes after leaving. Sugimoto-san, ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。お客様お名前教えてください。
ジェラミ。
ジェラミ。
ジェラミ。ジェラミ。
ジェラミさん。
ジェラミ。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。これは毎日このルートする？
自分はリブイン那智勝浦なんで、これエブリデイ。
そうか。今日はバスで帰る？
今日はオフィスハウスでステイ。
ああ、なるほど。明日。
Tomorrow is come back at home.
すごい。またね。Thank you. You too. All right. Well, that was great. Great driver. Great route. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was a fantastic drive. I had no idea it was going to be like that, but the mountains were great. I mean, continuous greatness for almost the whole thing. The last little part was not as exciting, but it was interesting to see all of the sort of rundown towns and cities and the conurbation here. But we did it. Great job. Japan's longest local bus. Now, where's the train home? See you next time on the next adventure.
Yamato-Yagi